Hey guys, so initially I wasn't going to record until this comes down. I'm mad insecure, but honestly I can't not do this because I actually quite enjoy making videos. So I got the message to do a tarot reading today, and this is just going to be some general messages. This could resonate for a collective energy or something, but this is the message that I have for some of you. So this card, before even shuffling, some of you are actually going to get some stagnated news, or you feel like you're stagnated in energy wise. And this is saying, Spirit is telling me that sometimes this stagnation is needed because it helps you refocus, or it's meant to, so something doesn't happen. So the Page of Wands is saying that because of the stagnation, there is something that you can do to help move yourself along, but something has to play out before anything can be done about it. So the Magician is saying that I'm hearing some of you have people that have just manifested blocks in your life, and you can get through this because your environment is something entirely different. So some people can stagnate your energy or basically put blocks up, and this is saying by getting rid of these environments and these toxic energies, this is saying that do not worry, because you're being called to do something else. And this stagnation, for some of you that don't have this, you're being called to rise above. So things may not make sense right now, but believe me, there's going to be some things that you can slow down and just enjoy your time with, because I'm hearing that you need to spend more in a childlike manner. So if you have kids, or you have like nieces or nephews, or you have a godchild, or maybe you have siblings, you need to get in a fun-loving environment around children so you can have this goof-off day. And really connect to your inner child. Some of you have some shadow work, and I do want you to know that right now that we're going through the communication, we're being withdrawn right now into ourselves. So shadow work is going to be a little bit more difficult than what normally would be. So like I said, there is going to be some shadow work. So some of you are actually dealing with an end of a relationship, a death of a family member. For some of you, this is coming out that maybe a parent had lost their battle with breast cancer or testicular cancer. Don't worry, they made it safely to the other side, and just it's time for you to start healing. It's starting to go through your grief. Don't deny yourself grief. Don't deny yourself a good cry. So I do want to tell you that also, for those who are constantly dealing with other people, there is going to be a death of energy around you. So there's this rebirth and this, as I'm hearing, job termination. And the reason job termination is coming out is because you are being required and called to go elsewhere, to put your time in and effort into other things. So just have patience. Don't stress out. Don't worry. You'll be taken care of. So I really get that there's going to be a job opportunity for you elsewhere. So, expand your horizons. Don't be overwhelmed by the job market or the economy. Don't be overwhelmed by choices. Make sure that the job that you get, or the energy that you come around, make sure it's right for you. You need to really invest in your gut feeling, because this is going to be your step up. I'm hearing stepping stones to get you there. So right now, some of you are being called to look within and to find balance, because right now you're kind of wishy-washy. And I do want to tell you, with the Nine of Wands, there is fulfillment and energy balancing. I do want to tell you, some of you have your guards up, and I want you to know that it could be great to have your guard up, but in this case, you're missing out on so much in your life right now. Because when you have your guard up, you're conflicting with others, you're conflicting with yourself, because you're thinking, oh, if I have my guard up, I can't be hurt. But you're hurting yourself. And some of you just may be clashing with energy. Some of you may be having dreams or being called to have a dream. So some of you who are having these dreams, you need to be very careful, because sometimes the dreams that you're having isn't necessarily great dreams. Some of them are actually people or energies that are trying to come in contact with you in a negative way. So you need to make sure you set boundaries. Oh my gosh. I just felt like a sharp pain in my back by my shoulder blade. So when I saw this card, so some of you are just having trouble sleeping, maybe a bad mattress, maybe bad posture. So some of you are just being called to stretch right, to get a massage, or have someone give you a massage. So just be very careful about who you let touch you or let in your fields. So for some of you, you're really shifting into more of a masculine. With the King of Wands, this is more Leo energy, more fire. So this is just like putting yourself out there and having this bravado, or the front that we put. And I really feel like some of you have invested a lot of time in this charade, because I get a charade, and you want to make sure people don't hurt you, and it's actually making you feel trapped. Your ego is making you feel a bit trapped, or how you present yourself, because this is all you know. This is just one layer of a face that you save face for. So I do want you to know that it's time to shed this skin. It's time to shed this ego. It's time to shed this persona, because you need to change. The world is changing, and some of you just, it's time, because your heart can't take this, because you're so closed off. And this is saying, be brave. Put your brave face on and be brave. It's okay to take a little bit of a calculated risk, but it's time to have fun, and you need to be more in practical energy. So the King of Pentacles is Taurus, Capricorn, but mainly more so Taurus. Taurus is very family oriented, it's very traditional, it's very stubborn. So shifting from Leo to Taurus energy is actually going to help you be more of the earth. But I'm not saying it's going to be financially. Taurus is very focused on their finances, same thing with Taurus. But Taurus, I really feel like some of you just need to be on your own, because it's time for you to start investing in your future. Are there any last cards in this deck before we switch to a new deck? Are there any last cards in this deck? Now, I do want to tell you, if you do tarot and you ask a question and you're not getting answers, or cards are not popping up, is because the way the question needs to be focused, or the energy that's in it, is actually a lot more stagnated. So sometimes spirit doesn't like to answer. So in this case, we're going to go through. So some of you are, moving this naive energy because you're like, oh, I can't be a child forever. So you're more transitioning into more of that adult, that you're taking your own time and you're focusing on your needs, and you're learning how to survive in the world. You're learning how to go about into the world, not just surviving, but you're learning how to be an adult, a functioning adult. And it's going to pay off, because you're independent. You're going to make it. Financially, you're going to be very adept of your finances, and finances are a huge thing right now. So I do want to tell you that your finances, you need to take a better look at it. You need to be paying attention to how you spend your budgets, things like that. So I do foresee that your financial future is something that's always been on your mind. So this is saying, pay a close mind on your finances, and, it's time to get strict with yourself. Archangel Michael, is there any messages in this deck for this reading? So we have God is in charge. So we have, dear God, please help me let go of this situation, giving in all my faith, trust in your divine wisdom and infinite love in order to resolve and heal everything and everyone is involved. We have guarded and protected. Thank you for protecting my loved ones and me, ensuring that we are safe and all of our needs are met. I graciously accept your help gratefully. knowing that it is right for me and others to assist and to accept assistance. We have your angels are watching your home. So it says your home is protected. Archangel Michael, thank you for watching over my home and its inhabitants. I ask you to post guardian angels in each window and each door, ensuring safety. Thank you for guiding my finances so that I can easily afford my rent, mortgage, and taxes. So you need to consent to this. So we have confidence. Archangel Michael, please lend me your courage and fortitude to help me realize that I am one with all divine wisdom, strength, love, and creativity, abundance, and health. Allow me to feel confident and peaceful about my ways. Take your time making this decision. Archangel Michael, please help me stay strong and relaxed as I approach this situation. Remind me to detach and step back, allowing the situation to naturally unfold. Thank you for protecting me. So this is saying you can't have a manipulated hand. So it says admit the truth and act accordingly. When you move with a truthful intent, you align more things to your purpose. You allow energy to come through. And when I said that, it was 11, 11, 11 when I said this. And so I want you to know that if you're into angel numbers, this is the sign for you. This is my prayer. I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance so that I can lovingly be honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me courage. So, thank you. Starseed Oracle Universe. Is there any messages you have for any of the people that it may resonate in this reading? So it says, trust your timing, trust the wave you came on. Time is not running out. Time is of the essence, but it's not of the essence, if that makes any sense. It says, forge the path, don't follow. Pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. When you step up to this leadership, this Leo energy, this fire energy, this Aries energy, you are, or any type of energy that is strong, it's very courageous, it's brave, it's always in your face, but it's cautionary, it moves with intent. This is where you go. Use that masculine energy to catapult you and propel you, because you can be, and you need to remain balanced in this. So some people are naturally more masculine than they are feminine energy. I'm one of those people, and I'm learning how to shift and how to balance and merge the two, so therefore they're always connected. When you find a balance between the two and you can merge your energies into a natural state, a neutral, you actually attract a lot more. And this is saying this confidence is like you're never doubting, you're never insecure, things like that. So this is where shadow work comes in. So we have doors are opening, you decide, rewards the wild card. So the ball is in your court. You choose how you're going to score. You're going to choose what plays to run. You're going to choose it. You're the shot caller. So don't let the time on the board dictate how much time you have to make this play, because it's an illusion. Do you have any more messages? This is follow into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites. So this is saying there's balance, the extremes of life. This is saying that if you're an adrenaline junkie and that's all you know, it's time to find something that is the complete opposite, so you don't like ruin your body or destroy it, kill yourself. Now it's time to find something to balance the two. Are there any last messages in this deck, universe? Are there any last messages? So, because we've asked and it doesn't want to shuffle, thank you, universe. Okay, Mazala. This is a very good deck for shadow work, or characteristics that you find that are arbitrary to how you feel or you don't feel. This is great for bringing this to the surface. Alright, so we have Hathor, Mistress of Harmony, Mediation, Communication, and Culture. So some of you are looking at things from a different perspective right now, and you're being called to look into this. So you're being asked to look in it as a middle person at middle ground. So don't just take a side, you need to see both sides of the same. Now, the culture is connecting back to your ancestors, connecting back to where you started. What is that culture? What are you influenced by? Communication is speaking your knowledge and speaking your truth and owning that truth, because if you don't own that truth, then no one can, do that. People can always lay claim to you. And when you speak your truth, no one owns claim to you but you. So we have the exile, the forsaken soldier. So this is constantly always needing an enemy, or constantly needing a battle that you can face, or an obstacle. So some of you you need this. And this reminds me of Capricorn energy, because you're always looking for strategy because you failed in the past. So this is trauma. So this is one of the shadow work cards in this deck. So this is saying you're always needing a battle or an obstacle to overcome to make you feel rewarded, or make you feel special, or feel needed, that you have to do it. And this is saying let it go. That's something. And then we have the red shepherd, dawn, just rewards, evaluation, and respite. So when you constantly need obstacles to get over, that's all you're ever going to know. You're just going to know how to survive and how to get over it. You're not actually taking what, because I just see someone just going through the same obstacle courses over and over, and it's so tiring. You just have no energy. Again, we have no energy with Lilith. And this is just instinct. It's instinctual to need an obstacle to get over, because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel confident. It makes you feel rewarded. So we have now, because of this, it's time to shift this. It's time to learn balance. It's time to learn peace. It's to be okay with yourself. It's to learn where you've come from. Because when you need an obstacle, there's just something in your past that you're not over. And you just need to conquer it. That need to do something like that kind of reminds me of Napoleon and Alexander. They always need to conquer things. And that's their drive. That's their instinct. That's all they know. That's a hunger. So we have the ageless, the light and the darkness, healing, graciousness, acceptance. So it's like accepting that you don't need this anymore. You don't need an obstacle to get over to make you feel confident, because where you've been in the past is the past. Like, you're now. What can you use that information? How can you propel yourself? How can you help others prepare themselves for this? So we have Thanatos, the warden. So we have completion, support, and expediency. So reward yourself by taking yourself out of this obstacle course and allow yourself to go with the flow and not fight up current. Don't let yourself feel like you have to be the one that's always in charge, because if you're not in charge, that's manipulation. If you're manipulating yourself into constantly tackling obstacles, are you actually living? Or are you actually more to the point where you feel like you're needed because of that? That's not. So, last messages, because I was told to come back to this, the last messages in this deck. Spirit, what do you have? Again, we have trust the timing. You'll know exactly when your time is being called. So, just hang back and take some time off, We have portal again. The messenger, bringing harmony and balance. So some of you are actually going to get news that puts you in a state of just peace. I remember the soul plan, the fated life versus destiny. So some of you don't actually know the difference between destiny and fate. Fate is basically knowing everything that you're supposed to do, versus destiny is how do we go about changing fate. That is what a lot of times, so if you don't know the definition between the two, you should look it up, because some of you have been questioning your fate and you think it's destiny. I feel like we as humans would kind of romanticize destiny a bit. So it says all paths lead home, trust your intuition, look within. So when you know you have a calling, you have to answer that call. You'll hear it. It says, I'm sorry, defensiveness, righting the past wrongs, uprooting. So this goes with the exile. So we have the Star Keeper, the cosmic ancestor, see the light by staying grounded. So you're going from a fire energy, going back into Taurus or Capricorn energy, the earth. This is why you're being called into this. Is you need to start focusing on your light instead of focusing on trauma It's time for you to heal while healing others. So we have Andromeda energy jump in. Let's have a leap of faith and say yes to adventure. So, you know, with the Knight of Swords, you're being called to make a grand change, to accept life again, to have fun. And this goes with the Sun card, is that childlike sense of humor and that goofiness, is to see the world in the eyes of a child, or how a child would respond to the world, and see that. So Mars energy with this, and I knew this would come out because shadow work is really important. Like, I'm really being told that some of us need to go through shadow work, and I've actually been preparing myself to go back into shadow work because I have some things that I've left that just wasn't the time. So for that to come out, I knew that was going to come out eventually. So then we have fall into my arms again. So this is saying consent to the universe, consent to shadow, consent to universal love, consent to healing. You have to consent to it. Like I said in the last video, you have to consent to things in the universe like you would consent to medical testing or medical treatment. So it says new earth, it's happening, keep holding the vision. So some of you who are thinking, you know what, I need to do shadow work, and you're going through it, just remember, you don't live in shadow, you live in light. You don't live in light like you live in shadow. So it says breathe in earth and breathe in that life and give yourself that energetic nutrients. Give yourself nutrients, like be life, be your life, and live it how you see fit. Like, no one can live your life. So, you know, with the portal, the fated life versus destiny, you're being called to remember exactly what your purpose is. So this is soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. So when you go through shadow work, you find your purpose. You find why you're being called to go through it. You're being called to open up, to ascend, to awaken. Because we need to. And this is lost land, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. So some of you are actually going to start seeing past lives, or see, you know, people that we have lived past lives with that have come about because they need to come back into our life to help us further our ascension or their ascension, because we're a network of teams that every planet and every soul on this planet and every cosmic species is being called to, because we're being called to raise and shift the energy back into balance, because we've been just so far off that a lot of us are starting to wake up now because of this 5, you know, energy that we have going on with this year, specifically May. And we're going to start feeling that for the next 6 months, as a lot of us are going to start awakening to this. Now, I hope this message resonates with you. I'll try to come back. It's just like when I'm doing this video, I'm just looking and I'm like talking. So thank you, Spirit, for coming in and talking to us. But for some of you who didn't watch the update, so what had happened is I had allergic reaction on Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. I had allergic reaction, and I was sitting outside trying to ground out to catch a little bit of that eclipse energy the day, I think on the 26th, and the 27th happened, went out there to ground out, and I ended up getting a mosquito bite. As you can see, like, I have a lot of them, and it was already like swollen, and I caught a mosquito bite and it bit my leg right here. And then that night I ended up biting my lip, so I ended up giving myself what looks like a canker sore. So it's like really inflamed, as you can see. It's not something I can hide, and I was super insecure about doing a video, but honestly, I'm working through my insecurity, and this is part of shadow work, is working through that insecurity about how I look and how I'm presented, and just accepting that it will go away. Like, there's nothing, just work through it, you know. This is nothing to be ashamed of or to be hidden. And so that is what happened. As you can see, it's not something I can just like digitally alter. So this is the normal things that I deal with. And, you know, it seems very insecure and very trivial to do this because hey, it happened, you know, it's a story to tell, to, you know, say that, hey, I was one of those type of people that have experienced a mosquito bite on the lip. So, and yes, it does itch. It really freaking itches, and I just, but thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good weekend, to stay safe and have a good Memorial Day. And like I said, if you plan to do any drinking, I'm being told that drink in moderation and make sure you drink a lot more water, because depending on the type of alcohol you drink, I'm hearing that some of you actually can have a dull sense where you're kind of made a decision by someone else to pressure you into that, and some of it needs to be steered in this way, and some of you are purposely going to have someone that's like, oh, I'm going to make this decision for you and take advantage of you. So I do want to tell you, please use caution if you're going to do this, and make sure you're in good company. So thank you, peace, love, and happiness. Love you guys.